We're gonna go ahead and begin the build. You just wanna have a nice table, lay it all out, and just start with the instructions. So we're gonna start with this little servo here. Obviously, this is my own servo that I supplied. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you for the servo. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start putting the servo horn on. So let's get to it. Recommend some pliers, that way it's just easier to cut the parts from the parts tree. So here's the tub, servo's mounted in. There we've got the nice servo horn right there, and the body mounts. So we're gonna go ahead and start building the rear diff. What's nice is they include some Tamiya grease. They kind of just tell you where to place it. It's pretty straightforward here. Very simple, putting it together. So one thing to note is the way this thing stacks is you got that gear goes first, then you slide in this guy right here. Then you're gonna drop in all these three little, I guess, spider gears, I believe is what they're called. Drop a little bit of grease on them. There they are right there. And then you just kind of put it in the middle and slide both cases together. Actually, I stand corrected. There's this little piece here found in bag C. If you look closely, make sure you put that in. I almost forgot it. What that'll do is it'll slide through there. It connects in between that one and that one right there to help line everything up. Make sure you put a little bit of grease on it. So you'll pretty much drop her in like this here. And we're gonna grab the other half and slide them together. Tip, make sure you get all the plastic bits off. Right now, this is interfering with me being able to slide the two parts of the case together. So make sure you always clean your edges off. Now that the case is all put together, we're gonna go ahead and spin it. As you can see, gears spin nice and smooth. So now we got the motor bolted up here to the transmission, or transaxle technically. So yep, just keep following the instructions and working the way down. Very straightforward, pretty simple. So here's the body, but before we paint it, we're gonna definitely wanna wash it. Now the color paint we're using is this nice TS47 Tamiya yellow. It's a chrome yellow. Kind of doesn't, they say it's a little bit of less of a bright yellow. It's kind of more like the box art, they said. So I'm going to try it out, see what they say. We're going to end up doing about 3 cans, so we'll see how much we'll throw on. So let's go ahead and get to painting. Now we're going to mix up the paint, and we've got our special painter here who's going to paint the body for us. Kind of lay this easy coat. So again, we don't want this paint to drip. Obviously, it's very splotchy right now, but as we paint, it'll all even itself out.
So Paul, you want to tell us about that tattoo there?
Yeah, last night there was a little party thing, so Alyssa put some butterflies on me. So rear end is now on the chassis. We're gonna build the shocks. Here's the tube. And they say you need to cut each one to approximately around 18 millimeters because that goes on the bottom of the shock right there. Very simple. Just line it up, cut it, and then just follow the diagram how to put it together. Now these are friction shocks, so you'll just put some grease in there. They don't have any oil in them, so pretty basic. But one thing I like doing is while I'm assembling, I'll take a few breaks and go and paint the body. As you can see, the body is now painted, so I'm going to go ahead and set it to the side. Another tip that I have too is I built the shock and I was like, oh, where's the shock top? And I realized I was supposed to pass the bolt through and have the shock be on there. So make sure that you first slide the bolt through and then assemble the shock. Don't assemble it on the outside because then you don't have a way to get it in. Yeah, here we got the battery tray portion put on. It's actually pretty cool. You can see it just kind of pushes down like that and it just swivels. And a body pin will go in there to hold it. It's coming along pretty good. Now we begin on the front suspension arms. Here they are. I'm gonna get this front end put together. So here we got the front suspension on, steering's hooked up. Obviously we'll have to center up the servo. It's coming along pretty good. What do you think, Alyssa?
I think it looks amazing.
Yeah. So we're gonna continue on with it and keep continuing with the build. So wheels, they're pretty straightforward. As you can see, this goes on the back. And then this here is a front wheel. See how it's rounded, takes a bushing. Anyways, they're directional. You wanna make sure the V's are pointing forward. All you do is you simply slide your wheel in through and make sure you get your bead right here. And that's it. So you just kind of go like this. And this process applies to all 4 wheels, front and back. You just kind of work your way around. It's nothing super hard. You don't want to push it too far back like I did there, but you just kind of work it. You see I seated that part, and then you go to the next side. You just kind of run your finger around, get it to slide in there. And that's it. Very straightforward. Then you're just gonna pop some bushings in up front. So bushing, you just kind of put it like that. And you're gonna have another bushing on the other side. Pop that guy in. Get a little bit of this Tamiya grease here. Apply it like that. Go ahead and slide her all in. Turn it on its side. Then you just grab the nut. Get it started by hand here. We're gonna go ahead with our tool. Go ahead and tighten it up. Now it's the fun part. We are installing the glass. I'm gonna put the little lenses up here on the grill too. So much fun. This is my favorite part of the build, to be honest with you. So here's the body. Now it's just ready for the decals. I know the side markers and the little trim around here can get painted, but I'm gonna choose to leave those alone as I don't have those paints or that brush. But yeah, I mean, not bad considering this thing's gonna get all scratched up anyways once we drive it. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the decals now. There it is. The Tamiya lunchbox. Came out really good. So we ended up using that chrome yellow paint because, as you can see, it looks pretty close to the box art. Now, if you notice on the box art, obviously the wheels and the body match. Here on the model, they do not match because the paint that Tamiya recommends is this shade of yellow to go on the body. And I don't really like that shade of yellow. It's just too yellow, kind of looks like construction equipment. Don't really like it. So we're gonna end up tearing these wheels apart and we're gonna shoot them with the yellow paint so it matches the body, and I think it'll look a lot better. But overall, super fun build. So this here was a little kind of build video. I wish I could have filmed a little more of it, but due to technical difficulties with tripods and phone mounts and camera mounts, it wasn't as possible. But you know, stay tuned for the running video. We're gonna go ahead and drive this thing and scratch up this pretty body.